It tells the whole Atlantis story. It just doesn't call it Atlantis. I'm in a constant argument with mainstream academia, and they point to a significant sea level rise 12,800 years ago. And remember, they didn't call it Atlantis. They called it the homeland of the primeval.
A team of researchers in Michigan have discovered a site older than the pyramids, but it's not buried beneath the earth. It's submerged in 100 feet of water.
For centuries, the ocean has been treated as a boundary, a place where history ends. Civilizations rise on land and disappear beneath the waves. But what if the sea doesn't hide nature alone? What if it hides cities? Not myths, not legends, but real, mapped, scanned, documented cities that quietly vanished from textbooks. Tonight we explore one of the most unsettling questions archaeology has ever faced.
The archaeologists roll their eyes at any mention of Atlantis. If you even say the word Atlantis, right, you're automatically regarded as a member of the lunatic fringe.
Okay. Were ancient humans building cities before history officially began? And if so, why were some of them erased?
That there was this great civilization, that it was destroyed in an enormous flood.
This is untold, and this is the underwater city they tried to forget. "12,000 years ago, the world looked nothing like it does today. Sea levels were over 400 feet lower than modern coastlines. Entire continents of land, now drowned, once existed. This period is known as the end of the last ice age. As glaciers melted, the oceans rose rapidly. In some regions, over 100 feet in a single lifetime. Any cities built near ancient coastlines would have been swallowed whole. No collapse, no ruins above ground, just silence. For most of modern history, this possibility was ignored, because to accept it would mean rewriting everything we think we know about early civilization. In the early 2000s, marine archaeologists off the coast of India made a discovery that should have changed history. Using sonar imaging, they detected massive geometric structures beneath the sea. Walls, platforms, straight lines too precise for nature. This site lies near Dwarka, a city mentioned in ancient Sanskrit texts. For centuries, Dwarka was dismissed as myth, until the ocean revealed something impossible to ignore. Stone blocks, road-like formations. Found over 120 feet underwater, carbon dating placed parts of the structure at over 9,000 years old. That date posed a problem, because according to official timelines, civilization wasn't supposed to exist yet.
Until recently, up until the last couple of decades, they started uncovering things like Göbekli Tepe and all these other structures that are clearly from more than 12,000 years ago. And they're really complex and really large with enormous stones. And it's sort of caused people to rethink the history of the Earth.
Modern archaeology is built on a carefully ordered timeline. Hunter-gatherers first, farming later, cities last, but underwater cities disrupt this order. Sites like Dwarka suggest organized urban planning long before accepted civilization. And Dwarka is not alone. In Japan, near the island of Yonaguni, divers discovered enormous stepped stone formations, sharp angles, terraces, and what appear to be staircases carved directly into bedrock. Some researchers argue they are natural. Others quietly admit they've never seen nature do this before. The debate remains unresolved, and that unresolved status is key.
And the history of human civilizations. And Atlantis has always been the big one. That has been the one that everybody talked about, was this incredibly advanced civilization, and no one can figure out where it is.
In 2001, a Canadian research team scanning the seafloor near Cuba detected something extraordinary. At depths exceeding 2,000 feet, sonar revealed symmetrical shapes, structures resembling pyramids, roads, and city blocks. At that depth, these formations would date back over 10,000 years. The announcement made headlines briefly, then almost nothing. Funding stalled, follow-up expeditions were delayed indefinitely, official statements softened, the structures were reclassified as natural formations, yet no detailed explanation was ever released, and no full resolution data was published for public analysis. In archaeology, silence often speaks louder than denial. Science does not erase discoveries maliciously, it does so cautiously. Entire academic careers are built on established models. Grant funding depends on consistency. Textbooks resist revision. When evidence doesn't fit, it is often set aside, not destroyed, but ignored. Underwater archaeology is expensive, technically difficult, and deeply inconvenient. Because every submerged city suggests something uncomfortable, that early humans were far more advanced than we assume. That knowledge may have been lost, not evolved. That history is not a straight line forward, but a cycle of rise and erasure.
And that's what I spent 7 years of my life doing, was diving on the continental shelves and finding again and again ruins and structures that weren't supposed to be there.
Nearly every ancient civilization tells the same story. A great flood, a lost world. Survivors who carried knowledge forward. Sumer, India, Mesoamerica, even early Greek traditions. For centuries, these were labeled myths, but geology now confirms massive global flooding events at the end of the Ice Age. When myths and science begin to overlap, it forces an uncomfortable question. Were these stories memories? Not of gods, but of drowned cities. Over 70% of Earth's surface lies underwater. Less than 5% of the ocean floor has been thoroughly mapped, which means most of human history, if it existed near ancient coastlines, remains unseen. The ocean doesn't destroy stone easily. It preserves, it buries, it waits. Every year, new sonar scans reveal shapes that challenge our assumptions. And every year, most of them quietly disappear from public discussion, not because they are fake, but because they are inconvenient. If an ancient city lies beneath the sea, it does not threaten modern civilization, but it does threaten certainty. It reminds us that history is written by survivors, not by the drowned. And perhaps the greatest chapters of our past are not lost, only submerged, waiting. This is Untold.